Hey, Maria, back with another video. It's 9:54 a.m. It is June 26th. I kept thinking we haven't advanced to July. It wouldn't surprise me if it was July because the time is going by so fast, and I'm starting to lose track of time. So I'm just like whatever. So it is June 26th. I believe it is Wednesday. I think it is. Haha. No way. How? It's Friday. Wow. I mean, like these few days, just like they were a blur. They were a complete blur. I had a lot on my mind, a lot of thinking that I did, and a lot of like stress, releasing like my feelings. I mean, it was so. I mean, I literally kind of lost time. It's kind of like something like zapped all of that time out of my head because I don't really remember the last few days because I was basically focusing on the same issue over and over and over again, okay? And it was really intense. So obviously I spent a lot of time thinking about what was bothering me, which I have been doing that for a long time, but there was just so much. I mean, it was just really, I felt like I was going to explode. So anyway, moving on. So, I made a video and I really don't want to continually talk about, this nightmare that I had to go through for so many years, okay? And it was very painful. It was extremely traumatizing, we know. Obviously, if you're losing time, right, thinking about something and you're like 2 days off on the calendar, you're obsessed with something that is seriously affecting your life, okay? It is a serious issue. And so, I made a statement talking about how I don't want to constantly bring out these people and talk about them anymore, and I really just want to move on. So I do. I want to meet other people. I want to build my life based on my vision. And my vision is, I want to be around colorful, exciting people. And when I mean colorful, exciting people, I like the diversity. I like the serious types. I like the people who like to laugh. I mean, I love laughing. I like goofing off. I like to be around women, particularly, mainly because I like women who can do things with their hands. I like to sew. I like to do arts and crafts. I like to talk at night. A lot of talking at night. Talk about intuition. There's a lot of women who are spiritual. I mean, a lot of women deal with their own versions of ESP. Yes, they do. Okay, women are more intuitive, I think, than men are. And in the past, I've met some really interesting women, and I really haven't been able to, expand, my little network further than what I was trapped in the last few years. So I want to open myself up to other people. But right now, things are kind of hard right now. Okay. Obviously, I'm trying to get back to work, and that's kind of an issue right now. The good thing is, I know, and I don't eat at restaurants very much. I think as a targeted individual, I would suggest people stay away from restaurants, okay? Because, in the past, I mean, really, people don't really have this sort of animosity they had towards me in the beginning, okay? But this is the kind of issue that it created, that people were like pointing the finger at me, blaming me for things or accusing me of things or whatever. And so when you're dealing with restaurants, people can tamper with your food. Just because they may not know you, but they might tamper with your food. So, it's best if you're a targeted individual, stay the hell out of restaurants. I don't eat out at restaurants very much anymore anyway, because obviously I'm not working, right? But, even in the past, I've stopped eating out at restaurants because I know, I used to keep my expenses on Quicken many years ago. And at the end of the month, I'd look at stuff and I'm like $500, $600 eating at restaurants. But I do every once in a while, like I'll go to like an all you can eat buffet, like maybe one of those Mexican ones, which those are really nice, okay? And the reason why is because the food is already out there on the table. That doesn't mean it can't be tampered with, okay? But it's less likely that they're going to be tampered with food at a buffet than if somebody's bringing something to you from the kitchen. So, I mean, I've eaten at Indian restaurants where they've served me directly from the kitchen, like the bread or whatever, and I'm always like worried about that. But still, I mean, I'm just saying it. Anyway, I digress. About the social distancing, some of the restaurants are being open now. I don't have money for a restaurant right now, but I would say that that's kind of good because, if I'm hoping I want to go back to work, but I would like to go out and have a meal with a woman and talk and just talk about whatever on the top of their head. And I do. I want a more social, active life. That's what I want. And so I know that people are, certain perps that I will not, I will allow to remain nameless. Would ideally would like me to be set up in a relationship with somebody that they secretly prompted me to be with. And this is where the handler thing gets extended, because, like, for example, if you have perps, right, at a distance, and they want to know all about your life and your personal issues, they will sometimes arrange someone to come into your life. Now, in the targeted individual community, they call them honeypots, honey traps, whatever. These people come into your life. They might like you, but they may not like you. But the main function is for information gathering, and they will become your boyfriend, whatever. Okay. So I'm leery, okay? And not just that, I know they would also do this through regular friendships as well. But my issue of whether I was targeted or not, I really do like being single. I don't want to be married. It's just not for me, okay? I don't like the idea of marriage. I can't see myself as some Mrs. Somebody, whatever. It doesn't work for me. And there's many reasons why. And once I get a good friend, I will go ahead and explain that to her or whatever, why I feel the way that I do. And no, before all the rumors start coming out, Maria's gay, whatever. No, I'm not. Okay. If I was gay, it's so open nowadays that if I was, I would be out having a lesbian relationship and wouldn't feel worried about being persecuted. Okay. I just really I don't want a relationship. I just don't. Okay. So, I'm happier with friendships. That's just how it is. Like, I think it's cool, like, when people hang out in your kitchen and people are eating out of your refrigerator, if you like them, okay? And they're not greedy motherfuckers that got to sit there and eat your entire refrigerator, and leave you. Because I've had people like that in the past, right? But, I enjoy, being generous and cooking and doing those sort of things with other people. I do, okay? I miss that. But I have to be careful. So, and then there's going to be people that I'm going to encounter that might still want to just be interested in me as a friend, just because I was a targeted individual, and they still want to do the information gathering or whatever. So I have to be careful. You know what I mean? And that's one of the biggest issues when you are targeted. You are targeted because it does affect every aspect of your life. Okay. So yeah, today I'm going to be doing a little bit of baking for my son, and I don't know what else I'm really going to be doing. Let's see. I might try to get out a little bit. Like, I wanted to go to the park. It's hot outside. It starts hitting 100 degrees, and I really want to just kind of be out. Sometimes just sitting in the grass is nice. And I think, perps, okay, they're always looking for, any reason to basically hate you. I'm not talking maybe names, okay, but they'll look for any reasons that they want you to stay in your house, and they don't want you doing anything. They don't want you to go for a walk. They don't want you to do anything. And, obviously that's really abusive. Like, like they want you to spend your money the way that they want you to. They want you to dress the way they want you to. It's basically, we know what it is, okay? Human trafficking is slavery, okay? But, to force you into the house when you don't want to be in the house, when you don't want to, do, or you want to live your life the way you want to live your life, okay? And it's ridiculous. So I'd like to get out today. So maybe this afternoon I will head out to the park and just kind of sit under a tree. I did go to the park a few weeks ago, maybe a week or so ago. Like I said, missing time. And I was hoping that I could feed the ducks, right? Because I used to love doing that, many years ago. And I went to the park, and there was not a duck in the lake. And I was like, okay, well, where did all the ducks go? So I was disappointed, but I did just enjoy being outside for a little bit, which was nice, okay? But I enjoy the simple things. I don't need to, be around crowds or anything like that. I would prefer, kind of quiet settings. I like being by myself a lot. I do. I enjoy being by myself, okay? But I don't like being isolated, because everybody needs like a certain amount of interaction. That's normal. Okay, it's normal to interact with people, even if it's just a little bit. You know, like when you go to the grocery store, and if you know that that person is not a perp, even those small exchanges, hey, how are you? Even the bullshit weather, the bullshit weather conversation, okay, is enough for people. You know, that's why I can't stress the importance of like customer service. Some old people are really lonely. When I used to work at Target when I was younger, and I think, you know, some of these old people that would come through my line, that was the highlight of their day. Not just the shopping, but just somebody giving them attention. And as sad as that sounds, it's true, okay? And it's normal to want to have human interaction, okay? But to a certain limit, like, you know, to a certain point, okay? Like, I remember when I was back in the 90s, I had people who wanted to come over to my house when I didn't want them over. You know what I mean? There's times where you just want to shut down and be by yourself, and that's understandable, okay? But there's sometimes you want your house to be lively, you know, and it should be. And I don't know exactly when are they going to lift the rule on people coming over to people's houses or not. I really don't freaking know. But I'm just talking about, you know, how things are, and how things used to be. But you know, I will say that when I think about character ratings, you know, I was thinking about that just this morning as I got up. I woke up this morning, I'm like, oh God, here's another boring day with too much time on my hands. And it is. It's a drag getting up in the morning. It really is, okay? Because I'm the kind of person, I like doing stuff the minute I get up. Like, I want to know what I'm going to do when I get up. I want to, you know, feel excited about the day. That's just how I exist, okay? I'm not somebody like the perps who got involved in this. They see things from their point of view. You know what I mean? And so they think, well, this is what I like doing. I like sitting in bed for hours and hours and hours. I like being off work for 6 months. I like, you know, sitting here doing nothing and perhaps maybe collecting a check like unemployment. So, you know, she's fine just doing this shit. I'm not fine doing it. I'm tearing my hair out. Like, I'm so fucking miserable. It's not even funny. Okay? But anyway. And sorry for dropping the F-bomb, but this is my channel, okay? And so I try to be as open and be myself and express my personality, my likes, the things that I like to do on my channel, on my time, because I deserve to be around the kind of people who are of like mind, okay? And yes, you know, I am ladylike, okay? But I do have certain sides to me, okay, which is normal. And you know what, I prefer to be around women who have more sides to them than just being prim and proper, okay? That's all very well and good. It's good that you keep your pinky out. It's nice that you dab your face when you take a sip of something, or you know, you curtsy or whatever it is that you do that's so prim and proper, okay? But at the end of the day, you're human, okay? And sometimes you're going to drop that F-bomb. All right? So I'm okay with that. So, and the people who are okay with that should be gravitating towards me, and I should be gravitating towards them. And that's how you develop fusional friendships, okay? I don't want to deal with people who are fake, boring, and blah, 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 okay? Because if those sort of things bother you, if they offend you, well, then you're not for me, okay? And that's fine. You don't have to be. But I choose to be me on my channel. Thank you very much. Now, the workplace is a completely different place, okay? I know I have to be very calm. I have to be very professional, and I understand that. Okay? And so I was thinking about character ratings today because I kept thinking, you know, it's funny how people base their people's character off of things that are kind of superficial. Like, you know, for example, okay, your credit rating. Now, I will tell you my credit rating, and I will tell you why my credit rating is a nightmare. Okay, because I lost jobs. I was off jobs for a lot of times. Then I would pick up, and then I spent a lot of time picking up, starting all over again. Okay, when your job gets wrecked, okay, and these people wreck your job, and then they get upset because you're not keeping up with the debts after they completely wiped your foundation apart. Okay, it's a sick, weird cycle, because what they think is perps think that they're doing something that's right. They think their opinions are right. They think they are above question. They think they have rights to do these sort of things. So they do certain things to you, and then they penalize you continuously. Like right now, I bet they're thinking, well, she needs to pay this bill. She's late on this bill. Yeah, I'm going to be fucking late on this bill, okay? And you know why? Because you are ridiculous. So aside from that, it's just ridiculous. Like, they like to knock you down and then see exactly what you're going to do and how you're going to survive in this sort of situation. It's like, no, legally, I shouldn't be playing your bullshit game. Okay, I'm getting off the subject. My point is that sometimes, we base things on, we base people's character on things that are superficial. We base them on what they do for a living. We base them on, their credit rating. And I know that there's like these websites where you get like these people's like personal profile scores, and it's based on these things, okay? Like your income, where you live, and what you pay. And so then your character score goes up and everything. And I will tell you that that's bullshit. Because there's people who have good character. There's people who are decent people whose lives literally get wrecked all the time. And I was thinking how, like, for example, serial killers, right? Serial killers and men who've got women who are, being captive or whatever. Some of these men work decent jobs. Some of these men have, I would say, beautiful credit scores, like just wonderful credit scores, right? Okay, and oftentimes, criminals, like weird, creepy criminals, they do everything they can to look, beyond reproach on paper. They do this because they really don't want people like paying attention. They don't want to like draw attention to their crime, okay? But they do all kinds of crazy stuff, but they make sure they go to work every day or whatever. They pay their bills on time, but whatever. But I was thinking also today about how, how poverty really is an institutional issue. It's like, because people can easily just come in and take shit from you if they feel like it upsets them or they're a little bit jealous. And I'm not naming any names, okay, but I do remember telling somebody that I was making a certain amount of money, and then she was like scratching her face and thinking, that's too much. Some bitch thinks it's okay for her to decide what I can and cannot have. Okay, so poverty is institutional, meaning it is a structure that people are easily collaborate to make sure people don't get too much, and they want to decide what you have. So America, this whole idea about people living the American dream is bullshit. And it just is, okay? And I know that sounds so negative, but, it's so true. And, there's so many things that happen in this issue that we already know. I talked about it before, okay? That it's like, it's eye-opening, and it can't be denied. It cannot be denied. So it really should be thought-provoking. It really is. And if it doesn't provoke you to think, to really analyze situations and see things for the reality that it is, you might be mentally retarded. I mean, or something's wrong with you, because, I don't even really know what to say about that. But anyway, I'm not a materialistic person. I like making things. I like, I'm a secondhand person. I wish I had a female to hang out with to get up early in the mornings to hit those garage sales. I love that kind of stuff. I mean, I even like women. Now, just because I'm a girly girl doesn't mean that I don't enjoy the benefits of being around the tomboy types. You know what I mean? Because I will tell you, I've been watching some of these videos on YouTube where, like, most of these people who take these old items and redesign them are men, okay? But still, I know there's a lot of women out there who like working with their hands. I've seen people take old, like, radios from the 1930s, rewire them, and then, like, repaint them, and they're fully functional. Stoves, ovens, appliances from, like, long errors, bygone errors, and rehash these things. And as I'm watching their completed project, in the deep down, in the back of my mind, I'm like, I'm kind of envious of these people. What a beautiful skill that you have. What a great talent that you have. You know what I mean? I would love to be around somebody who can do that. You know what I mean? I would love to be around people who have great skill, or they're good craftsmen or good artists, or they understand. And I'm not talking about the superficial like physicians, because I really don't have respect for a lot of the medical industry, but I'm talking about people who really have an interest in the human anatomy and understands how the human body works, and who are interested in nutrition. I like those kind of people. I want to be around people who stimulate my mind, you know. And this, I want to choose these people. But aside from all of those things, to bring these wonderful things into my life to make me interested and keep me, you know, somebody who I can relate to. I want somebody I can trust. See, that's important. You have to have someone you trust. And trusting people is not easy to do, because we live in a very, very, very sick world. People are easily manipulated. There's a lot of Manchurian candidates running around in this world, okay? Meaning, like, they have split minds. You know what I mean? They have split minds, and they don't realize what they're doing, okay? And I mentioned this before in a few of my videos about, you know, a lot of people don't realize that they are like these double agents, or they're two-faced. They don't realize it. You have to catch them and call them out on it when they're actually in that moment doing that, because they don't really think about it. But I would prefer to be with people who are able to use logic and reason. I want to be around intellectually stimulating people. I can't stand being around people who can't think straight. You know, who are easily manipulated or susceptible to mind control. Which that's very common. I mean, what happened here is mind control. Mind control, you know, and, you know, I want to be around people who are more independent in their thinking. I really do like that. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up this video. So a lot has happened, you know, and it has really, I really thought a lot about it, and it like I said, it took up a bunch of my days. Like let me just make sure it's Friday. I mean, I'm like, is it really? Oh my God, it really and truly is Friday. Okay, it's Friday. That's too time consuming. Okay, I spent my entire life in a program, working my ass off. Okay, and being exploited and abused. You know. And then telling people and trying to get help, and nobody realized it. But deep down inside, they knew it, because they knew that they liked the thrill of oppressing a person. You see, that's where the two split mind things come from. And I will never forgive those people. Meaning, I forgive them in a sense where I don't want to talk to them. I will never, if I see some of the people that got involved in my targeting in town, I don't talk to me, and I won't talk to you. Okay, I'm not going to sit here and confront you, but you say something stupid and I will confront you. But I basically I'm not trying to get revenge. I just want to move on. You know what I mean? But I honestly and truthfully, it was a very damaging experience. And the sad part is that through all this, right now, somebody in this town is either terminating an employee and telling them something that they shouldn't be saying. They are probably telling them the same shit. You'll never work in this town again, or you're never going to work in this industry again. You're going to do this. You're going to do this. I'm hoping that people will learn from this lesson. But the sad thing is, I know that many of them won't. You know, that human trafficking will continually play out. And it needs to stop. It should stop. I wish it would, but I don't expect it to. But I mean, I really wish it would. Because it devastates the lives of so many people. And stop thinking that just because somebody's your family, that these people care about you. Okay? I will honestly tell you that when families exploit other members, okay, of their families, when they abuse them, when they take away their rights, when you're talking about religion in the workplace, all of these things, you need to look at this and ask yourself, is this an issue of human trafficking? You know, if I had the ability to write this into a procedure or law or whatever, I would make it mandatory for people to report suspected abuse of human trafficking. I would. I would do that because and hopefully human resource individuals will be able to acknowledge what's going on, and that doesn't mean blow the whistle on people just willy-nilly, okay? But if you start noticing that there's certain people who obviously have privileges, and this one particular person is continuously being limited in her functions or his functions, because men get trafficked too, but if something's going on, people need to be able to be aware of the signs, and should be responsible. Okay, they should be very responsible about how to do this. You know, but there should be agencies that are competent. And the hard thing is, it's hard to find this sort of competence in places nowadays. Because they see it played out in their face, but it doesn't click in their mind that this particular person is a victim of human trafficking. They're thinking, oh, well, yeah, I know him. He's the guy who's, you know, controlling his sister-in-law or whatever, and it's a family issue, and I'm just going to stay out of it. This is what they're thinking in the back of their mind, when this is the component of somebody being a victim of human trafficking. Oftentimes people are trafficked by their own families. And so I hope people's eyes wake up. And for the people who are responsible, the people who care, who are socially responsible, there will be a change. But we always have different individuals. We always have people with their own agendas. It will continue to be happening, okay? But there's ways to help people, and if you can help them, help them. You may not be able to give them shelter, you may not be able to do this, but you can make anonymous phone calls. You can do something to change this, to help somebody, because there's a lot of women who are in worse situations than I am. There are women who have children. There are women who are scared to death. There are women who are going to be in homeless shelters, all because of these systematic forms of abuse. I bet you there's women in homeless shelters right now who are victims of human trafficking. Okay, and it's shameful. When I look at the homeless people in this community, I wonder, did they get this way because of this so-called administrative type procedures that are going on? Some idiot telling you, they'll have a disagreement over something stupid. You're never going to have a job in this whatever again. Now, I know there's some people who are homeless bums who just, you know, and they don't care. They might have been drug, but I would love to know how they ended up becoming a drug addict. You know, I mean, I'm interested because I know, I do think that the issue that people who, when they go the wrong path or something, there's usually a reason why, okay? But they do have their own responsibility. They should be responsible. You know what I mean? You can't use everything as an excuse. It's their responsibility to get themselves out of an addictive situation. I understand that, okay? I'm not making excuses for that. But there are some people on the streets, okay, who have been rejected from society, who have been expelled from a society or ostracized from society just 'cause. You know? Or maybe they came from a religious home and I didn't come from a religious home, okay? That religion was just like made up on the fly by my perps, okay? But still, they might have a disagreement with one of their family members, just a disagreement which they have the right to choose, have their own choices. And then their families wage war on them. And the next thing you know, they're homeless. Okay? And I don't believe there's a lot of targeted individuals who are homeless. A lot of them are. Okay, and this is the issue, and this whole issue is the responsibility of the employer. People behind the desk should recognize the signs of human trafficking. They just should, okay? And they should not be assisting and accommodating people who are trafficking another person. Anyway. That's all I wanted to say. So I did my best not to go in naming names. I'm doing the best I can to move on from this. Today, I do want to get out of the house. I think it'd be better for me to do that. Yes, I do want to meet people. You know, if I see you out in town, you know, you want to say hi, say hi. I won't ask, whatever, but I'm just, right now, I really don't think I'm going to get into a long, lengthy conversation, okay? I really don't feel that talky right now, but I'm just trying to bring a little bit more normalcy into my life as much as I can. What's normal for me. Okay, so I'm going to wrap up this video. I hope all the TIs have a wonderful day, and I'll be back with another video some other time later. Take care. Goodbye.